Hey guys, this is Heretic, and in this video I'm going to show two different Elite Wars, two different outcomes. They both went down to the very end, and at that point whoever controls the most castle wins. So you can see on the left we have 5 castles, MBK has 14 in the last 10 minutes. So I'm showing the last 10 minutes of the fight. While on the right we have 7, 8, and VNG has 3. And you can see this kind of buildup. So there's a couple reasons why you can lose these. So the Realm 507 on the right, VNG, they have a lot of T13s. They have a lot of high stats compared to what we do in 1648. On the left-hand side, NBK has T11 just as we have T11. So we're pretty even. So on the right with VNG, they sat in their castle most of the time. A few of their players came out and were super strong, and they won a few fights, we won a few fights. There were a lot of back and forth. We were never able to, we made some attempts, like big attempts on their main castle, but they did have quite a few players in the castle that just sat there the whole fight. So, we look like we're in control on the right, and on the left it looks like MBK is in control. One thing, when you're facing an older realm, and for example for VNG here, when you're facing them, you want to occupy as many of their players as you can. If this is going to go down to the end, you want to keep them from branching out. They're able to distribute their players really well because they have that advantage in stats and in tier. So it makes it really hard for us to keep any castles for too long, because they can go with 2 players and kill 10 of ours pretty easily. And they do it several times during the fight, which is honestly a little depressing. But you can understand, they're so much older as a realm. They've been around for years where we've been around for months. So it does all come down to the wire. Still with VNG, we're ahead. At this point, it's 10-6, and on the left, it's 5-14. Watch what happens at the end. But what I can tell you is keeping your opponent occupied so that you're only facing 1 or 2 of them, in this case, when you're not fighting a huge number of players, can really turn the tide. And it's where I think we probably messed up the most. We could have done some blocking to keep them going. We could have, at the very beginning of the fight, we attacked their castle. We lost, but we could have strung in players and kept that battle going. I've seen it when I was in EOL. That's what we did. We kept that battle going the whole entire fight. Keep it going, because while the battle's going, their players will never be able to heal. So you let the battle end and immediately have another player come in and hit. That way you have their players that died are now in the hospital and they're not able to heal. They're not able to rejoin the fight. They can heal, but they can't rejoin the fight as long as the battle's going on the castle. So that would be one way of doing it. Another way would be, go ahead, play it down towards the end. We have the advantage here. When they start bringing out multiple players to hit our castle, at that point, throw in a blocker, speed in and stop their additional players from coming forward. Force them to fight 2 on 20, 1 on 12. Odds that they're not as good for them, where we have a significant advantage in the number of players that are fighting so that we can actually win that battle. Make them continuously have to heal until they give up. That's another way. On the left-hand side, we do a really good job because we wait until the very end. And you see here at 2 minutes, we start coming out of the castle big time. and we just start taking everything because our opponent is pretty equal to us. So we know that if we take out our with numbers, we're able to quickly retake the castles that they have because they're so spread out. And that's what we do. So you see that flip, that whole narrative flipped on both sides. So on the left, we were way down versus MBK, and now we've taken a significant advantage here. We're taking the advantage. You don't see it in huge numbers yet, but we are. And on the right-hand side, VNG is basically doing the same thing. They're coming out with their power players towards the very end, and even though we're still up with under a minute left, they keep pushing, and they're trapping us with 1 or 2 players in a castle, and they're much stronger, so they're able to retake those castles and take the lead. Watch this come down to the very, very, very end. See, now on the right, VNG's got 10-9. They're up. On the left, we're up 11-8 at this point. So here we go. It's still pretty close, neck and neck with VNG, but we cannot do it. In the very end, it's funny. It's the inverse scores here. So versus MBK, we're able to take it, and VNG, we end up losing. So I hope this helps. Take care.